Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
Accounted for 57 touchdowns in his 2 years as a starter at USC and won a Rose Bowl in 2016 over Penn State with an absolutely magical performance. But 35 turnovers during his time as a starting quarterback for the Trojans, something he'll definitely need to address and work on in the NFL.
On first down, Darnold. And incomplete to open things up. That time trying to find Gerald Everett. That'll bring up second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And this one is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Steelers send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week.
Hurry up, here we go. 3 and 8.
The first carry down for Rex Burkhead. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45. After the juke.
We got three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. Gun!
On 2nd down, Rosen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down. The numbers for Diggs from a week ago: 6 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown.
And he has 10 touchdowns on the season. When anyone scored that many times, as a former defender, I know exactly what you're talking about before the game. Key on him. Don't let him get in the end zone today, guys. Let's keep him out of there.
The first carry for the rookie, it's Jordan Wilkins. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On the carry, it's Wilkins. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Watch it now, Marty! Gun! Detroit!
On 1st down, it's Rosen. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, a 22. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams.
Detroit! Gun!
Rosen will throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Hayden Hurst, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be...
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Cassius Marsh in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on 1st down. Dotson with a grab over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on 1st. On 2nd down, here's Rosen. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. Out to the left, it's complete to Dotson. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
After the interception, here's Darnold. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On first down, it's Darnold. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Darnold. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Hurry up, here we go.
Darnold to throw again. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. A first down throw, Darnold. And this is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 2nd down and 10, Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
A final shot before the break, Darnold. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Carlos Hyde was the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
This is Wilkins. And now running right through it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a play fake here on first down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Intentional grounding, offense.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long. Now Rosen looking to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now Rosen on first down, pushing his way through. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the play.
Lucky 56.
Rosen to throw again. And it pops free. The collision there jarring the ball loose and brings up second down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Third and goal, Rosen. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And Rosas puts this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Green, 39.
They run again with Hyde on first. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here we go. Green, 39.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run.
All right, here we go. Green.
Again, it's Hyde. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Here we go. Blue landed.
On second down, Hyde. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
They'll come out in the pistol. Back to throw, Darnold. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball. When that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Sanders' kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. A deep ball for Dotson, and that's caught inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Actually going to throw it here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now it's Rosen. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try and pound it in with Burkhead. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rosen to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Now Rosen will lead him up here to go for 2.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now it's Rosen. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. The fades are tough because you need a perfectly placed pass. They got one there.
That they did. Now, I used to have a former partner I worked with who hated the fade pass. Where do you stand on it?
I do not like it because you're going into a corner. You don't have any room. What do you think? You're the analyst.
I love it when they complete it. Then it's a heck of a call.
Yeah, well, that's not very gutsy.
Yeah, it really isn't.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here's Darnold now on second down. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Darnold on first down. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. To the air again, Darnold. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Throwing again is Darnold. He dumps it to Hyde. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down. Again, Darnold. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Set! 39!
Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Here we go now. 319! 319!
Oh, Rosen's going to throw it. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
He's got a man, complete. And a timeout comes in. The whistle's blown with 3 seconds remaining. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, They had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Carolina, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll have a few extra days here now before they face the Lions next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.
I live with birds, come here.